Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Well, welcome to your Monday session today, the 15th of February. If you can hear me okay, if you can see me okay, then please do say hello in the box. I would greatly appreciate hear from you. As always, we will give it just a minute or two for join. Hello, Vicky. Great to have you with us today. Start in just a moment. Today is a very special session because today it's half term and you are going to need a piece of fruit. So you've got time now to go and grab a piece of fruit if you've got one. If you haven't got a piece of fruit, maybe a vegetable or a food of some kind would be very good. Maybe a biscuit, maybe a chocolate bar, maybe a croissant or a bread roll, something like that. Fruit is the best though, so appreciate you may not have got the message with that one. So please pop over and get yourself a piece of fruit because we're going to do a little bit of a special session today and hopefully we can get the kids involved on half term. Lovely. I'm just clearing these messages, so thank you if you have said hello. I'd like to say hello to everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Chris, fabulous. Nick. I'm not as loud as usual. Aha, let's see. How is that? Is that any better? Let's have a look. Can you hear? Be a connection issue. Okay. Hopefully that is better. Let me have a look. Yeah, that should be right. Okay, so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Ah, brilliant. That's better. Excellent, excellent. Lovely. So feel free to get any kids involved. We're going to do a session which is a little bit more basic and a little bit different, but I think that if you've been to a few of my sessions before, I think you're really going to enjoy this one as well. So I mentioned already, so if you are late to the party, you will need a piece of fruit or a food of some kind. Beautiful. And if you are here with your kids, then fantastic, let me know. So Mandy says that she has her son who is 10 on. Fantastic. Make sure you've got a piece of fruit, either a piece of fruit each, or you can share your piece of fruit as well. That's fine as well. We'll just give it a minute or two for people to grab their fruit and then we will get started. So lovely to have you all here. Thank you so much for being here. And hopefully you are enjoying your first day of half term. If you are doing this with one of your kids, it'd be great to hear from you, but also what I'd say is don't be too hard on them if they find it a little bit difficult. So if you're a kid and you're watching, this is going to be great. It's going to hopefully have a bit of fun. But if you find it difficult, that's okay as well. That's okay too. So let's define what is mindfulness. So mindfulness means maintaining a moment by moment awareness of our thoughts, our feelings, our bodily sensations, and our surrounding environment through a gentle and nurturing lens. Mindfulness also involves acceptance, meaning that we pay attention to our thoughts and feelings without judging them, without believing, for instance, there's a right or a wrong way to think or feel in a given moment. When we practice mindfulness, our thoughts tune into what we're sensing in the present moment rather than rehashing the past or imagining the future. So a good example of that is to look out of your window today. Is it sun shining where you are? Or is it a bit cloudy? Is it raining? Where I am today is really grey. It's incredibly cloudy. And as much as I love the sunshine, I really do love sunshine, the sun's not shining today. And that's okay too. That's okay too. So I don't have to miss the sunshine. I can just be happy for the greyness of the clouds, because I know that the sun is there somewhere, and one day the sun will shine again. So when we're really tuning into what is happening right now, we're looking at what's happening and we're not wishing it was a different way. We're not wishing it to be different. We're really just seeing it exactly for what it is. And now there's seagulls, loads of seagulls actually outside my window flying. Don't know why there's so many, but again, it doesn't quite matter why. That's what we're looking at when we think of mindfulness, is really connecting to all of the things that are happening in front of us and not wanting things to be different at all. What we're going to start off with is we're going to start by closing our eyes and we're going to take a few deep breaths together. And then we're going to get this involved. Okay, so hopefully you've got something. You're going to need a prop. Okay, so get yourself comfortable. It doesn't matter how you do that, and close your eyes. You can be lying down, you can be sitting down, you can be on the floor or on a chair or on your bed. Absolutely fine. And just close your eyes and listen to my voice. I'm going to give you a few instructions. So we're going to take a few deep breaths together. So breathe in as deeply as you can. And breathe out. Breathe in deeply. And exhale completely. Try to squeeze every last bit of air out of your lungs. And then breathe in again. And breathe out. And just keep breathing in this slow, controlled way. Breathe deeply. Breathe slowly. And notice If you want to, you can put your hand on your belly. Notice how your belly increases and decreases with every breath. And that is your lungs filling up and emptying with oxygen, which is rather cool. Really breathe into your belly. You might find that you're breathing into your chest, and you might find your shoulders moving up like this. But if you put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly, just focus your attention on breathing into your belly as best as you can. Now then, it's time for our little prop. What I want you to do is try to find your piece of fruit or your piece of food, whatever it is. You can sneak a peek at it if you need to, but try to keep your eyes closed. Keep breathing. And just try to focus your attention either on your breath or on my voice. But we're really going to explore this piece of fruit in front of you. So what I want you to do is take it in your hands and just feel the surface. Is it smooth? Is it rough? Are there parts of it that are smoother than others? How many different textures can you feel? Is it soft? Is it hard? Oh, I found some like knobbly bits on here. Are there any knobbly bits on yours? So I think that's at the bottom of the apple that I have by the core. And there's a little stalk on mine as well. So make sure you feel the stalk as well. And notice how different that feels. Just by feeling a piece of fruit that you have, can you tell if it's fresh? Can you tell how fresh it is? This apple for me, I wasn't going to say it's not fresh actually, but it feels pretty fresh. I just cheated a bit. I just looked at the apple for a moment. I closed my eyes again though. Don't worry if you do the same thing. And I want you to just keep your eyes closed and see if you can imagine that piece of fruit now in your hands. What does it look like? Without looking, don't cheat. You've already seen it a few times. But running your fingers and your thumbs around that piece of fruit, what does it look like? And again, notice in your imagination any changes in color or texture. The knobbly bits, the stalky bits, the softer bits. And now, in your own time, I just want you to softly open your eyes and look at your piece of fruit. We've really explored the feeling of the fruit. And what I really want you to do now is have a look at the sight of the fruit. Are there different colors? Are there different shapes? So I have a red apple here, but there's little bits of green, almost some yellow there. Some little kind of brown dots here as well. And notice the differences in the texture of the colors. So some of them might be really solid and strong, and some of them might be dotted in. Is there any reflections? Are there any reflections on your fruit? So my apple has a shiny skin, and actually I can see the reflection of the light coming through. Do you have that on yours? There's those knobbly bits I was telling you about. And look, there's a few bruises here as well. Are there any bruises? Are there any parts that have been a little bit battered maybe? And then don't forget the stalk as well. Have a good look at that. Some really different colours and different textures in there. It certainly doesn't look tasty, that part. That wouldn't be the part that I would start with. So we've explored the feeling. We've explored the look. I think there's one last thing we need to explore. But before we do that, I want you to pop it down and time to close your eyes again. Okay. Close your eyes. Let's take one more breath together. So breathe in deeply and breathe out. And I want you to imagine what your piece of fruit would feel like to taste. If you took a bite out of your piece of fruit, how would it feel? Would it be hard? Would it be soft? Would you have to peel it first? Or could you just take a bite out of it right now? Perhaps you don't have a piece of fruit. Perhaps you have a vegetable, maybe an onion. You can still do the same visualization here. What would that be like to bite into? Probably quite crunchy, I would imagine. But I'm going to stick with my apple. And it's going to be crunchy, it's going to be hard. And it's going to be juicy. And can you imagine what the inside of your piece of fruit will look like? Can you imagine what that fruit will taste like? Will it be sweet? Will it be a little bit sour maybe? Will it be really juicy? Or will it be a little bit drier? Imagine what a big bite would feel like. But also, imagine what just a little bite would feel like. Just a little nibble. In a moment, I'm going to count down from 5 to 1. And just bring your awareness back to the room in front of you. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Open your eyes. Hopefully, you've already tasted your piece of fruit in your mind, which leaves only one thing left to do. And that, of course, is to take your piece of fruit. Hold on there. We're just going to take a very little bite, a very small bite, okay? And what I want you to do is just allow that small piece of fruit to stay in your mouth for a short period of time and just notice how it feels, okay? Use your tongue to explore the different parts. How was it? Was it crunchier or softer than you imagined? Mine was definitely a bit softer than I imagined. Use your tongue just to, again, explore the textures, explore the tastes. And then chew the rest of it and enjoy. Enjoy the piece of fruit you have, whatever it is you've got. And thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully that was fun. Hopefully that was something a bit different. It was very different. And I'd love to hear from you guys. I'd love to hear what you had and what you're enjoying right now. Don't feel that you have to rush off anywhere. We'll have a few moments here together. Mindful eating is a really great practice because we're often eating mindlessly. Perhaps we're working at the computer and we're shoveling things into our mouths. And it can make a real difference to really notice what we're eating. As I said, you could have done that with a biscuit. Could have done that with anything, really. But I always find fruit and natural foods are really the best because you've got all sorts of different bits and pieces. So, okay. Emma's asking, how do we access the March Vitality calendar? Had trouble finding the February one. So they will be on the website. and they will be on the Facebook group as well. So hopefully they're not ready yet, so they should be finished by the end of the week. So I'll be here again next week. If you haven't got it, or if you haven't got access to it by next week, come back and I'll be able to drop a link into the chat. So we'll get you that March calendar for sure. Leanne had a juicy apple, lovely. And Mandy says Zach's enjoying a banana, lovely. That's why I was thinking, is it crunchy or is it soft? Some people might have a banana. Oranges are fantastic to do this with as well, and this is a great activity you can do with your kids on a regular basis. Just really taking the time to really enjoy a piece of fruit. And somebody has, an anonymous person here says, thank you, the sun is shining. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear the sun is shining somewhere. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. It's been lovely to share this moment with you. Enjoy your piece of fruit. I'm going to enjoy my apple now, and we'll see you again next week. Have a lovely week and take care.